Olive's checking it out. This is our new Earthway 2600A Plus spreader. Hi, I'm Chad, and this is Olive. And in this video, we're going to be assembling this spreader. If you watched the video about the Lawn Cube lawn care system, that's the system we'll be using this summer on our lawn. But I needed to get a new spreader to put that down. So we're going to go ahead and do that here. I've seen some reviews that say this is actually pretty difficult. I see there are instructions right on the top. So we'll give it a try and let you know a difficulty level. Oh, come on, you're right in front of the camera. It does have pneumatic tires. Here's the bin. It's much smaller than I thought it would be. The pictures I thought would be bigger, but this is pretty small. I know it's just made to hold 40 pounds. So it looks like it holds 40 pounds, but it's smaller than what I had pictured. Now the first thing on the instructions, is to place this. Just like that. We use 4 of these little flathead screws. And for jobs like this, I know you've seen me use the rigid drill driver a lot, but when you're screwing into plastic like this, I recommend just doing it by hand so that you don't chance stripping out that plastic. And I'm not going to over tighten these. I'll just snug them up and then I'll check them again after the first use to see if they're loose, and I can always tighten them back up. Install gearbox. I'm shooting the pinion shaft in the hole in the center of the hopper. Arrow must point towards the front of the hopper. I wanted to show you on these parts. There's a number 2641. This one says L 2641R. So this is the one for the right hand side. This is the one for the left hand side. We'd use these longer bolts that do not have the threading going the whole way down. And then 2 of the locking nuts. Actually, the instructions show that the bolt goes into that molded area. Put it in as the instructions show. And then the nut goes on the inside here. This. And these are going to meet up in the center like that. I failed to show you one important step. The side of the axle with the hole closest to the outside edge is the coasting side. That goes through first in this, sliding it from this side to the other side. Just like that. So you can see on my right hand side, which is the left hand side of the machine, that hole is closer to the edge. On this side, the drive side of the axle, the hole is further in the shaft. The next thing we want to do is slide these bearings in. They are notched. So they go over the axle, in through the notch. Now I've been trying to get this to go through by hand for about a minute. I'm going to use some pliers, one on each side, just lightly, and see if I can get it to, there we go, that's all we needed to do. So that's a great tip for you if you're having trouble getting it in there. Just take 2 pairs of pliers, and just lightly squeeze, and it'll slide right in. We'll go ahead and put the wheels on. And this one is the coast side. This one's the drive side. And we've got 2 pins. The longer one, the 1 3/4, goes on the drive side. Got to kind of line up where that hole is going to be. To get it lined up in the light right, you can see through. And then I'm going to twist it so that when I bend this down, it's going to be on the wheel, like bent front to back. Try to just do that with my pliers. That should be okay. And then this one is the much smaller pin. We're just going, I missed one tiny thing in the instructions. It doesn't say it, but it shows it in the diagram. This washer should go between that pin and the wheel. So I'm going to pull this pin back out. Place the washer. Now I need a little bit more axle. Put the pin back through. Okay, now we've done it correctly. Now we've got the washer inside the pin. Now before we flip this over, we'll go ahead and tighten down these bolts. I think that should be good. Now we flip this over, and there we've got the start of our spreader. Next, we're going to put the main part of the handle in, and it doesn't matter which end you use because the holes are the same spacing either end. And we're going to need 2 1.5-inch bolts with the locking nuts. I don't want to over tighten these, so we'll start with that for now. Now both sections of the handle are the same, and we want this control to be like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts through the control, just like that, with one side of the handle. And then this goes through here. The other side of the handle comes over to here. We put our locking nuts on. The next thing we want to attach is this support to this hole. So we want to go nut washer through spacer like that, and then nut on the other side. So it was bolt, washer, spacer, nut. You can tighten that down. These have all been 7/16, and that just holds that in place there. Now we've got this rod, and it's got a little bit of a pinch here at the end, so it'll only go through this bottom feed section in one direction. So you can see it goes through there, and then when you twist it, it's locked in. And then this is going to attach here. And I'll look at the instructions to see exactly what the orientation is. Now to make this connection, we use this little carriage head bolt, a washer, and a nut. And we want to line this up. We'll put this all the way so that and we can pull this in and out. We'll go all the way back, which opens the holes up the entire way. So we've got this all the way up, these holes the entire way open. We'll put the carriage bolt You can see this is notched for the head of that carriage bolt. Through there, washer, and then this nut. Now you can see this is in a slotted space, so you can adjust this after you tighten it down if you're not getting a full open when you're pulled all the way back, or not getting a full close when you're pushed all the way forward. Well, I think we're pretty well set right there. I need to get a smaller wrench for that. It is not 7/16. So I wanted to show you, this is pretty important. The handle, the control is set all the way back. The holes are all the way open. You can see my fingers through there. Wasn't sure what size that is. It's a 3/8. Put it down. Now, if we've done this correctly, when we close this, it'll close the holes. And it does. So we're fully open, fully closed. Fully opened, fully closed. And there we're opened. The last step is putting this pin through the agitator. It's starting to get dark out. The last thing I want to do is put these grips on the handle. Those just push on like that. And I'm having a little bit of a problem because I've now completed all the steps. Let me just make sure here. Yeah, I have a problem. So I will need to call Earthway. This gear box is not functioning. It's the drive axle is turning the axle. The drive wheel is turning the axle, and that's turning inside the gearbox. The gearbox is pointed forward, but I'm getting no spin here. So it seems to me like this is not working. In a separate video, I'll explain to you why I chose the Earthway spreader and why I specifically chose this one. But I want to wait to do that to find out if they'll send me the replacement parts and if that makes this thing work correctly. So disappointed, but assembly wasn't too bad. It did take a little while, probably almost an hour really. Now I was moving the camera, so that added a little bit of time, but it's not a complicated task, it's just a little tedious. Now once I've done one of them, probably the next one would go faster. So again, if you like videos like this, make sure you click that like button down below. Comment down below if you've had a problem like this. I'll be in touch with Earthway and see if they'll send me a replacement part here. I'm guessing it's just this gear drive. So just a quick follow-up here before I publish this video. I sent an email to Earthway. They responded the same day, so that they are going to be able to send me a replacement of this gearbox. So I'll just have to take one of the wheels off, both the wheels off, slide the axle out, put the gearbox in, the new gearbox, and then try it after that. So their customer service people were very responsive and very good customer service. They're going to send that out right away. Hopefully once I get that, everything will be perfect. And they even mentioned they may send me another spreader to use on the channel. So we'll see what we get there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again the next time.